Now, as promised, Leslie McCormick, Senior Wealth Advisor of the Farwell Group and co-author of Bank on Yourself, Why Every Woman Should Plan to Be Financially Single Even If She's Not, is joining us to give us some tips on investing. So good morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Marilyn.
So last Saturday, Darren gave us 5 timely tips about how to reduce the stress when the market is down, and boy, has it been up and down. What do you have for us today?
Well, Marilyn, today I wanted to continue on our series about advice. And in particular, I wanted to talk today about a really sensitive topic, and that is when to give up financial control. It's a topic that's really uncomfortable, I know, but it's a really important one that we need to talk about. I recently brought this topic up with a widowed client of mine, Helen. She's on her own with no close family. While she is healthy and still relatively young with no need to be concerned now with this topic of giving up financial control, I wanted to start the conversation and get her thinking about her future and what she may want to have happen if her circumstances change. Our experience has been that it is far better to think and plan ahead, to take time and really think things through when there's no pressure and no need to make an immediate decision, especially with a topic that's this sensitive. To her credit, Helen was happy to have this conversation. In fact, she expressed how grateful she was that I would actually bring it up with her. You see, being on her own, without anyone close, she told me how she's really concerned about how things will be handled if she can no longer manage it herself. Like many of us, she knows people who were financially taken advantage of in their older years. In fact, her own mother had almost fallen victim to a caregiver who tried to take advantage financially. And so we talked about there being 2 aspects of giving up control: when and to whom. In terms of timing, there are those who are able to manage their own finances for their entire life and never have to worry about this. And I hope Helen is one of them. But some warning signs or points to be aware of to know when it might be time, they include things like changes that are unusual for you. So maybe you find yourself in an overdraft position, and that's just not normal. You find yourself forgetting to pay bills. A general lack of interest or feelings of disengagement from your finances. Maybe it's when you actually fall victim to a financial scam or feel like you're being taken advantage of by family, friends, caregivers, or I've even heard of circumstances where it's the person who helps around the house with renovations and repairs. These are all some of the warning signs that it may be time to actually get help with managing your finances or even have someone else take them over for you. But to whom to give such power and control? Ideally, there's someone in your life that is suitable. That person should be trustworthy. They must really be above reproach, and you must fully trust that person in the role of power of attorney. In fact, if there's any way to build in some sort of accountability or someone else who's also overseeing things and that keeps great records. They need to be able, meaning competent and knowledgeable, to take on the role. Willing, right? They have to want to help you in that way. And a big one that people don't necessarily think about is age. Is this person an age where they are most likely able to maintain your affairs for your lifetime without running into capacity or health issues themselves that would negatively impact their ability to continue in the role? Power of attorney for property, or as we like to call it, financial affairs, is a big responsibility, and giving up control is a big decision to make. In Helen's case, she doesn't actually have anyone that would be a good fit. And as a result, our conversation went into discussion options for professional management of her affairs by a trust company. In fact, our next meeting is scheduled, and we will be talking about services Scotia Trust provides, including family office services for managing day-to-day affairs, taking on the role of power of attorney for property as well as estate trustee, and even the role placing her assets into an alter ego trust may play in her future planning as we look to protect her financial well-being.
So this is really, I would say, a sensitive topic as you described it. And you're basically telling us to be proactive than reactive, make decisions while we're able and while there isn't any pressure. And I guess you must have a way of walking people through this process. So if someone wants to talk to you about giving up control and setting up a power of attorney or maybe professional management and sort of get an idea of what's what, how do we reach you?
You can give us a call at 416-863-7501. And you're right, Marilyn. Planning for a future circumstance in which giving up financial control becomes necessary, it may not necessarily be comfortable, but it certainly is smart, prudent planning.
Well, we're springing forward this weekend and planning ahead and thinking forward about our financial control and our financial well-being is important. I think after health comes wealth. So 416-863-7501. Leslie McCormick, Darren Farwell, the Farwell Group will help walk you through it so you know what your options are and you'll be able to leap forward with financial control because you will know what is actually happening and drive the situation. Thank you very much. That was very enlightening, even though it isn't the most pleasant of topics, Leslie.
Thank you, Marilyn.
And next week, Darren Farwell will be back and we'll continue our conversation and learn about the advice series for helping women, especially widows, control their finances and plan for the future.